everyone. My name is Courtney Moody, class of 2020 UCF Online Alumna from the English Creative Writing Program. And with me today is UCF Online Connect Center Success Coach, Monique Carter. And we are going to have a little discussion about success coaching and how it can help our UCF Online students.
Yes.
Monique, first of all, thank you so much for joining me today. Can you just start us off by telling us about yourself and your experience with coaching online students?
Absolutely. Thank you, Courtney, for taking the time to speak with me today as well. So I have been with the Online Connect Center for just about 3.5 years now, since I would say the beginning, but a few months into the beginning of the Online Connect Center. So as you may know, UCF has offered online classes for many years, I think about 20 at this point. But the Online Connect Center with the success coaches and the student coach ones, we've been around for about 3.5 years, 4 years at this point. And what I do as a success coach is I proactively support the student in enhancing their experience. I like to make sure that they have the tools and resources that they need to overall be successful.
That's awesome. Thank you for your work in helping out our students. So, in your opinion, what can a success coach offer to online students?
Well, I like to use the metaphor, Courtney, where you know how, let's say you're new to the gym, right? And you walk in and you ideally know why you're there. You have a goal set in mind and you're looking around and you see all these machines and you see, people at different levels of their fitness and you're just, you don't know quite where to start. So what you'll want to do is grab a hold of that personal trainer, right? They're going to walk up to you. They may even see the glazed look in your eyes where you start, and they're going to walk up to you and offer you that guidance. They're going to talk with you about why you're there and what your specific needs are, because we're all different as students, right? And then, what brought you there? How can they best support you? What are some goals you've set for yourself? And with assessing where you are right now, they're going to show you maybe these are the best machines that you'll want to use, or maybe these are some classes you'll want to sign up for, or here are some supplements that may help you on your journey. So I like to use that metaphor because we all come in with different backgrounds, experiences when it comes to being students, and sometimes we're just not even sure what questions we have or where to start. So as a coach, I like to come in, assess my students and see where they are so I can meet them where they are and show up in a way that best supports them.
That's awesome. So you really get to tailor it specifically to that student. It's not just a one size fits all. This is the experience you get with the success coach.
Absolutely. Students will come in, they're, working part-time and they're full-time students, or, they're working full-time and they have no children at home. So their evenings and weekends are, catered towards certain activities. And then you have another student over here that works full-time and they have a family and they're also juggling school. It's going to look very different as far as their experience with being a successful student.
If you were a student again, how and why would you reach out to a success coach? And do you feel it would help you be a better student?
I love that question, Courtney. I love it because when I started out my education, I did not have a example that came before me, if you will, on how that works. And I knew there was something behind having a degree as far as, having a successful career, but I did not know where to start, how it worked for me as a working student, just having a path in a way. So if I were a student again and I knew I had had access to a success coach, I would initially just have that question like you asked, well, how can you help me? So that would be the first thing. I reach out and say, hey, I noticed that UCF offers success coaches. What is it that you do? How can you help me as a student? And then get that feedback. And then from there, just lay out on the line any questions or concerns, just being completely open on where my concerns are, what my questions are, so that they can then turn around and tell me how they can support me in those ways, what tools and resources are available to help me through my specific questions. So to answer your question specifically, Courtney, when I started out going to school, I was working part-time as a nursing assistant at a skilled nursing facility, and then part-time as an admissions coordinator with that same facility. So I was transitioning from being direct patient care to being on the side of health service administration. And all I knew was the direct patient care side.
Mhm.
So I had a couple of things going on, working full-time, transitioning from one position to another, and then trying to now add being a student onto my plate and had no idea what that was. So I would have reached out and said, hey, what suggestions would you have? I'm a working student. I'm transitioning in my career. I need flexibility, but I also need to go at a pretty steady pace. What do you got for me? And that would have kind of been how I approached utilizing the success coach and having, setting goals on how I can be successful, many goals each semester that would eventually lead to that final outcome and graduation.
This may lead kind of into my next question, but it sounds like also there is a little bit of initiation on the student end where the student has to be open, be willing to talk to the success coach, explain this is where I'm at, this is what's going on, to be able to get the best help they can.
Absolutely. And Courtney, it really does start with trust, right? My student has to trust that I'm there to support them, but, have trust in knowing that they can be honest with me and be transparent. And I think it starts with me being transparent myself and what I know and what I don't know what I do and what I don't do. And what I always tell them is, come to me with that question, feel comfortable enough to come to me with whatever the question or concern may be. And if I don't have the answer, I'm going to ensure that you connect with the right person or department that can support you. But feel comfortable enough to come to me first. I call them my action takers because ultimately I can share all the tools and resources, but you have to be willing to take responsibility, of your education and put them into play. And a part of my role as your coach is to follow up and see how that implementation is going.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that transparency, is there anything else that makes a great student success coach relationship aside from that transparency?
I think the execution and follow-up is key, right, on both ends. So
Mm-hmm.
let's use the example of a student says, Monique, I haven't written an academic paper in years. I don't even know where to start with because I haven't written one since high school or what have you. So I, as a coach, know there's the writing center, right? But maybe the
Mm-hmm.
student's not aware of that being a thing, especially online because they're not physically coming to campus. So they're introducing them to the writing center, not only the one-on-one consultations that are available virtually, by the way, but also the resources that they can just click on anywhere from just structuring and outlining your paper to how to cite references and that's this may be things that they're not even aware are available to them to help. So presenting this information to them, getting feedback on is this what you feel would be helpful, and then if so, setting the time. Okay, Courtney, in 2 weeks we're going to touch base on how you were able to utilize the writing center, utilize these particular tools. Did you find them helpful? Yes. No. Okay, so let's reassess. Just so the execution and follow-up is key for sure on both ends.
That's great. And I know that that helps online students to feel more included in their school experience because someone is there at the school and cares about them. They're not just this person at a distance who happens to take the courses offered by UCF.
Exactly. Integration is huge for online students because you're not physically, seeing your classmates and instructors every day, but we want you to feel that connection. And the best way we can do that is as coaches saying, hey, Courtney, by the way, did you know that this was available for virtual students as well, for online students as well? Just ways that you can continue to interact, still remembering that you're online for a reason. So we don't want you to be tied to a specific place and time and have all of those things that we said were asynchronous and did not require you to tie to a specific date and time. So, still allowing that flexibility piece, but allowing you to still get connected.
What is your favorite part of being a success coach for UCF Online?
I love this question. I love this question because I'm a mom. I'm a working mom of twins. And when I speak to other working parents who are just like, I know I need to do this, Monique, but I don't know what I've done. I put this on my plate and how am I going to get this done? And I get excited because I'm huge on aligning your values with your daily actions, right? These things that you say are important to you, which for my students is not only their education, but their life outside of school does not stop because they're students now. They're still working, they're still parents, they're still, involved in all these organizations, and they have their parents, and you have a life outside of school. So as a coach, I like to come in and say, hey, this is my favorite part because we're going to make this work for you, Courtney, specifically your life. So let's lay out. We're going to take it back old school, get a piece of paper. We're going to write Sunday through Saturday down. And I want you to just lay out everything that you typically do in your schedule outside of school. Your job, your health and well-being, what you do for decompression, what you do for your family and with your friends. Let's lay that all out now. And now let's add on, are you taking 2 courses, 3 courses, 4? Let's lay out what that's now going to look like and assign time for all of those things so that you still have as best you can a balance in life, but you have a realistic plan that you can follow that's specific to your life, not Eden's or, Ashley's, but specifically to Courtney's life. And being able to do that and see the light bulb come on for them. And it's not me telling them what to do. They're creating this plan on their own. And they are really happy and excited to implement this plan that works for them. I think that's probably the best part of my job for sure.
I love how passionate you are about this. You make me wish I had taken more advantage of a success coach before graduating, because I had times where because I do dance, so I had my ballet company, but then that's a huge chunk of my day, but then I have to do another job that pays me more, but then I have 4 classes I'm taking, and it was a lot. So you make me wish I had taken more advantage of that. Is there anything else you'd like to add about success coaching or how it can help students, do you think?
I do. So I really, again, appreciate you taking the time to speak with us, as a graduating student that went through UCF Online. And I'd like to, one of the things you just mentioned, you actually answered one of the questions I had for you, which was, what is one of the things that you would have done as far as coaching goes as a student? Because we want students, we don't want students to get to the end and say, I wish I would have known, right? So we kind of touched on it a little bit, but just taking ownership and your education and saying, hey, let me pause for a moment, assess where I am, and see how I can best turn this online experience into something I'm really truly involved in. And how can I utilize my coach as a way of learning about the tools and resources I can get involved in and just enhance the experience as best as possible. Because we're definitely here. And we're one of the more proactive departments where we're reaching out, we're touching base, we want to be involved. But we also want students to be receptive and, get involved in the coaching and, just if it's once a week or, twice a month, or even just 2 to 3 times a semester, we want to ensure that we're at least getting involved and touching base. So letting students know it's available and out there. And so again, if it's just 2 to 3 times a semester, we want to make sure that we have that one-on-one, touch base points with you. Make sure you're supported. And if there is something we can assist you with at that time, we're more than happy to do so.
That's so valuable. Thank you so much for all the work you do. Thank you for talking with me today and for representing UCF Online.
Absolutely. Thank you, Courtney.